This is the mirror that I used in a couple of previous DIYs. Actually, this is what it looked like before I removed the contact paper and decorated it. I purchased the two that they had at Goodwill for $5.95 a piece. They both came with hooks on the back, so they are really wall mirrors that I decided to use as wall mirrors and a tray. And here's what the first one looks like after I decorated it. And like I stated before, I've used it in previous DIYs and I got a lot of questions on how to make one. So in this DIY, I'll show you how to build one on a smaller scale for $6 using Dollar Tree products. Now, of course, when you decide to decorate it, it's going to cost a little bit more, but that's totally up to you. This can be done in so many different styles. I'm actually going to do one farmhouse style for my farmhouse sisters out there. But this is my finished tray that I'll be showing you how to make today. So let's get on to the DIY. In this video, I'll be using two of these signs from Dollar Tree. I'm sure that you'll find these with different sayings on them, and I'll have the measurements in the description below. I also have these two wooden sticks from Dollar Tree with sayings on them, and they sold these last year. I actually saw some around Christmas time, and I'm pretty sure they'll have more for Valentine's Day as well, but if not, you can find similar pieces at Home Depot for only a few dollars. I'll be sure to leave the measurements for these below as well. You'll need at least 2 packs of these tower blocks, a strong blade like a box cutter. I picked this one up at Dollar Tree, some strong adhesive or some wood glue. I'll remove this label later. I removed it from this one already. As you can see, there's still some residue, and I need to remove that as well. For the other two ends of my tray, I'll need to build a piece like this, and it consists of 24 blocks in all, and it'll sit inside these two pieces just like this. Oh, and I'll be using this masking tape as well. Now I'll show you how to use the tower blocks to build the two pieces that you'll need to make the tray. I'm using Gorilla Glue to glue the blocks together. If you don't have it, wood glue will work just as well. After gluing my first few sets together, I use these two pieces of wood to line up my glue pieces perfectly. Now I'll glue 2 sets of blocks together. Now I add some masking tape to hold these in place while they dry. Then I'll come back and add my final row of blocks. Alright, so I'll carefully remove that. I'm going to sit that there by the window and let that dry. Now I'll go ahead and remove this and the sticky residue from this one as well. And I removed the sticky glue that was on there. So now what I want to do is go ahead and start putting my tray together. You could use some wood glue, but I don't have any, so again I'll be using my clear Gorilla Glue. You just want to put a generous amount on each block. And then put them in place. I'm going to hold these together with tape while the glue sets up. After I was done gluing the sides in place, I added more tape to stabilize the tray until the glue set up. So this has been drying for about 2 hours. So I want to go ahead and start gluing my base onto my tray. And again, I'm using these little boards from Dollar Tree. And I'm sure that they have some for Christmas as well. So I'm just going to line this up, put some glue between the two. Again, I'm using the Gorilla Glue press them together. Now I'm going to add the tape to this as well. Now I'll spread some glue on all 4 parts of the tray. Now that I'm done adding the glue, I'll flip this over onto the base. I lined it up with one edge of the base and then pressed it down. I put down a couple of beads of hot glue to hold it in place while the glue starts to set up. So I'm going to let this sit for a couple of hours and then come back and move on to the next step. Before I move on, I'm going to nail the base to the frame before I cut the frame to size. And I'm using some really small 1-inch nails. I'll continue to add more nails to my tray and then come back. Before I move on, I'll remove those 2 beads of hot glue that I put down earlier. So I went ahead and removed all the glue that I put down. So now what I want to do is just press up against it and score it. What you want to do is line this up with the edge and just pop it. Just like that. Now I'll hammer a few more nails in, and then I'll have a fully functional, sturdy tray. Next I remove the tape, and now I have this really sturdy tray that only cost me $6 to build. Now I'm ready to design my tray. First thing I'll do is take it outside and spray paint it white. I used the white spray paint as a primer, and as you can see, it's completely dry. Next, I'll paint the tray with the silver metallic paint. I'll let this dry, come back and add a second coat, and then let that dry as well. Okay, so I'm done with my 2 coats. I even painted the inside, but I'm going to come back in later and add some mirrors to that, so it really didn't matter that much. Next, I'm going to mix some Mod Podge and silver glitter together, and then brush the mixture onto my tray. I'm decorating my tray with some silver mesh bling, and as you know, you can see through the mesh bling, so the glittery background will make it more attractive. The glitter and Mod Podge mixture has completely dried. Next, I'll glue 3 of these mirrors in the center of my tray. The 3 mirrors are not a perfect fit, so I framed them with some of the mirror tiles. Alright, so here's what the mirrors look like in place. There's a million fingerprints, but I'll clean that up later. There was still a small open space at the bottom of the tray, so I filled that in with 1 row of bling. Next, I'll measure and cut the bling and then glue it onto my tray. I'm going to use hot glue along with Dollar Tree Fix-All glue. I'm done adding my first piece of bling onto my tray. I'll do more off camera and then come back. I'm done adding bling to the outside of my tray. Now I'll cut more bling for the inside and the top of my tray as well. And here's my completed tray, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. Now, in order to hang this on the wall, I'll need to attach these hooks. I picked these up at Walmart, and it comes with quite a few in the pack. Off camera, I went ahead and nailed a hook here. And now I'll attach a hook here so that I'll be able to hang it landscape. Now when you're nailing your hooks in, make sure that you're nailing into the wood and not in the center of the tray where you attached your mirrors. Okay, you can see that my mirrors are still intact. Now when I hang this on the wall or use it as a tray, I want to make sure that it's level all the way around. So I hot glued 2 rhinestones on the other 2 sides that's the same height as the hooks. And here's my completed tray that I'll be using as a wall shelf as well, and I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. And it's absolutely stunning when used as a wall shelf. Here I added a couple of small vases that I picked up at Goodwill. I inserted some of the silver branches from Dollar Tree, and I end up with a very glam and elegant look for my wall. And here's what it looks like used in my Winter Wonderland tablescape. I think the size of this tray fits this tablescape better than the original tray. Again, I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's glam, it's elegant, and can be used so many different ways. I'll definitely be making a second one to match this one, and another one more on the farmhouse style, so stay tuned for that as well. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this DIY, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up, and I hope I'll see you guys in my next upload.